Alright folks, Machinist 88, we are back. Let's finish this off. Well, the mini disk you gave me contains a simple code that reveals a scrambled file. Cooper is something urgent for me, so I was wondering if you two could take a crack at cracking the encryption. We can take it from here. I know Cooper hates to be kept waiting. We'll be able to finish this then. I finished analyzing the book. It's a logbook belonging to the owner of an apartment building, maintenance and resident records, things like that. It was located at the place marked on the map. So the airstrike location Chen thought would constitute a war crime was an apartment building? Is there any way to prove that this book had anything to do with the United States military operation? I did a chemical analysis of the paper and it had residue consistent with accelerants used in U.S. military incendiary devices. Over a dozen people died in that attack. But why? Chen alerted the military that they were targeting an apartment building. Why would they go through with the airstrike? I can't answer that. I just hope you find out, so that we can identify whoever did authorize this and nail that scum to the wall. Okay. Okay. Let's try. Okay. Nice work, Agent. It's a memo from General Miller to a contacted Icehammer. It looks like he's talking about Stephen Chen alerting him to dubious legality of the strike at Target. He's soliciting a bribe to ensure that Chen would go to prison before he could reveal to the media what he knew about the bombing. He says that a colleague of Chen's called H, who knows about the strike, had agreed to help them create the documents they'll need. And as we already know, H turned out to be Alex Hotton, who insisted that he had no idea what he was covering up. Miller's been behind the conspiracy the entire time, and now we can prove it. Nice. You're going to jail, sucker. Based on what we found at the evidence facility, we know that Chen was targeted after he told General Miller about discovering that an airstrike target recommended by Icehammer was an occupied apartment building. General Miller solicited a bribe from Icehammer to imprison Chen before he could talk. Then, together with Alex Hotton, General Miller created a case that landed Chen in jail. General Miller took an oath to defend his country. What part of that includes the death of non-combatants? Well, General Miller mentions a superior. Now that we have evidence, we will definitely land him in prison. We'll need to see if he tells us how far up the ladder this goes in exchange for a deal. He won't do that. He's too prideful. I'd also like to talk to Alex Hotton again. The memo indicated that he knew that what he was covering up from the start. I want to know what else he isn't telling us. Alright, Agent. Well, I need you to help Rustler and Torres re-interview the suspects. We've got to get to the bottom of this quickly so we can get Chen back from the invisible hand. Alrighty. Let's do this. You're in a lot of trouble, General. We found evidence that proves that you decided to go ahead with an airstrike on an occupied apartment building, then solicited a bribe from Icehammer to cover it up. I don't know what you're talking about. All your accusations have been completely baseless, and I have half a mind to contact your superiors about this continued harassment. Not this time, General. Please show General Miller our evidence, Agent. The logbook. But I thought it had been destroyed. We also found this memo where you solicit the bribe from Icehammer to cover it up. You're going to prison for this. Help me help you. Why'd you do it, and who else is responsible? Icehammer delivered intel on the location of a key militant leader hiding in an apartment building, and Icehammer's initial report stated that all non-combatants were clear of the building. After the strike was scheduled, Chen notified us that he'd received a conflicting report stating that there may be a non-combatant resident still living there. He wanted us to follow up on it. I contacted Chen's superior, and he said that he trusted Icehammer's initial assessment, and that if we delayed, our target would slip away. We determined the strike needed to go ahead. Had Chen notified the press, it would have been catastrophic. Can you imagine how it would have fueled terrorist recruitment? We had to stop him by any means necessary. So if the decision to frame Chen was made by you and his superior, why solicit this bribe? The government pays Icehammer over $300 million for their services. Since I'd already put my career on the line, I figured I might as well get a taste of the pie. Wow, over a dozen people died in that attack, General. How could you allow that strike to happen without confirming that no innocents would be hurt? The collateral damage was tragic, but we got our target, a man who, before his death, had executed attacks that killed over 350 people. There's no telling how many more would have died. I made a choice. You did, and now you have to live with it. I feel like that stuff happens a lot. Or at least more often than you would think. I wanted you not to lie to me, Alex. I was almost ready to believe you, to maybe even give you a break for helping us out, but you just had to ruin it, didn't you? You told us you didn't know you were framing Chen for, but you lied. We found a memo where General Miller confirms that you knew what you were covering up. Look, I admit that I helped falsify evidence for General Miller, but that's it. You have to believe me. I still have no idea what Stephen was trying to expose. All I was ever told was that I needed to create the evidence. Miller never told me why. If I had known that Stephen was trying to stop them from bombing an occupied apartment building, I never would have helped him put him away. Oh, psh. We never told him about the apartment building. Let's see. Yeah. You said that you wouldn't have done it if you knew the target was an apartment building, and yet you also claim that you were never told what the target was. When did you find out? Did Miller tell you? No, Stephen did. After he found out it might be occupied, he asked me what to do. I told him that our job is to gather intelligence, not to tell our commanders what to do with it. Do you know how many people knew about this in your division? What about among your commanding officers? Besides me, General Miller, and our direct supervisor, nobody. Miller was adamant about not letting it get up the chain of command. How could you stomach helping cover up a plan to launch a missile into a building when it wasn't clear if there were innocent people inside? You know what General Miller has on me? It was my life I was dealing with. I didn't know any of those people. To me, they were just numbers on a spreadsheet. Wow, exactly what you're about to be in the penal system, Mr. Hotton. I hope it was worth it. Well, according to Miller, he and his superior decided to frame Chen after he threatened the on operation to kill a militant leader hiding out inside of an apartment building that bad intel said was clear. Well, that's in line with what Hotton told me. Given how unreliable they've been so far, I don't know if we should trust them, but it does seem to be what the evidence is indicating. Well, with what we've gathered so far, we have enough to exonerate Stephen Chen. We better let our John know so he can notify his group that it's time for Chen to go home. To come home. Well, we found the information your group wanted about the conviction of Stephen Chen. He was framed because he had information on a target that his direct superior did not want him to share. The judge on his case, General Miller, conspired with one of his subordinates to put Chen in jail before he could go to the media. We will have all the evidence we need to exonerate him. Congratulations, agents. I appreciate your A+ effort here, but Chen has already fled the country and is now under the protection of our organization. You assured us that if we found the evidence that would make Chen a free man, you would release him. Getting Chen was the sole focus of our plan the entire time. Clearing his name was simply an interesting diversion for my benefactor. Benefactor? Well, who are you talking about? The Invisible Hand has always crusaded against government corruption, but this operation was designed specifically for you by a person with goals similar to that of my organization. They're called the Wraith, and they're coming for you. What do you mean? The Wraith is specifically targeting this division? You work closely with an old friend of the Wraith, Reddington. The task of clearing Chen was designed by the Wraith to test to see how easy it would be to play your department, and you didn't disappoint. Every domino fell right into place. This Wraith person seriously claims to have planned this entire thing from the start. Who do you think placed the anonymous phone call to Brenda Collins to convince her to reopen the case? Now that we have Stephen Chen and all of his secrets, and as a bonus, a new national scandal that was handed to us by you, free of charge. Oh, well, you won't be so smug for long. You're going to lead us to the Wraith and spend the rest of your life looking at the concrete wall of a supermax prison cell. I don't think I'll be doing either, Agent. It's been nice talking to you, but I think I'm going to go now. Expect to hear more from the Wraith. Gah. Oh my gosh, you're creepy as flip. Wait, what's going on? We need a medic in here. He's... Oh, looks like he had a cyanide and a fake tooth. He's gone. Oh, he just committed suicide. What? Nuts. This is terrible. If our John Doe is right and this Wraith person knows what's actually happening here, then we're in big trouble. Unfortunately, our only lead is laying in a cold drawer down in the morgue. We need to figure out who will be our best shot at getting something on the identity of the Wraith. It's obviously going to be Reddington. It should be like really, really high. It's always a cyanide tooth, isn't it? I know a dentist who could check for that. He's uncertified, but he does make patients very talkative. Now, what did our captured invisible hand person tell you? So I don't have to reiterate it to him. The Wraith, eh? Interesting. I met a lot of intriguing people during my days underground, but never one with that colorful a nom de jour. I'm a bit annoyed by the insinuation that this person knows what we're up to here. I don't need to tell you that if this gets out, it'd be bad for me. What's bad for me is even worse for you. I don't know who the Wraith is yet, but I will soon, and when I find out, I'll teach them exactly what happens to people who threaten me. Things are about to get interesting around here, Agent. I hope you're ready. Master Case 5. Get to unlock the next case, baby. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I will see you guys in the next case. This has been Pitching Ace 88. Over and out.